today, from Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, it's Week 13 of the NFL on EA Sports.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Miami Dolphins and the Cincinnati Bengals. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. Here come the Bengals, and CD, of course, it's Joe Burrow out of LSU at quarterback.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, accentuate the positive, because that's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air, receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're a running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
First down, here's Burrow. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. Burrow looking to pass. And that one complete once again to Higgins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 2 plays, 2 catches. You have a feeling they're going to look for him early and often, and that's to be expected. You got a player of his caliber, why not?
And I think it's also a message from them to the defense that you're not going to dictate to us what we're going to do with one of our better players, because so often you hear about defenses saying we're going to take away what you do best. In this case, they're going to move him around, find proper matchups, and make sure they continue to funnel the ball to him.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Burrow going to get this into the hands of Mixon, his running back. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
The numbers for Mixon last week, 19 carries, 98 yards, and a score.
And when I watch them operate, I see a unit that's playing with extreme confidence. Offensive line, tight ends, wide receivers. You see a group that wants their number 8 rusher in the league end up being in the top 5 before it's over. That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. Yeah, yikes. Terrible kick headed straight for the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And he's certainly putting together an MVP-type season, leading the league in both passing yards and touchdown passes. There have not been too many defenses that have been able to stop him or even slow him down. So he's got his sights set on another big game right here.
On 1st and 10, Richardson. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself a big...
And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal. If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks, because then the defense has the advantage.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. That last run, pretty monumental, Charles. He just toppled 15,000 career rushing yards.
And that just leads me to a question, and even before that, a tip of the cap. How about that accomplishment? Well, just think in your life, what have you done positively 15,000 times, right?
I haven't driven 15,000 yards, let alone ran for 15,000 yards.
That is phenomenal. Congratulations.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
No, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. They'll drop the throw. Under pressure, they got him again. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
Here's Richardson on 1st and 10. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. Touchdown, Dolphins. That's caught. Henry Ruggs, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins strike quickly here for 6 points. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Joe Burrow and the Bengals set to go back on offense. And I guess the question, Charles, is here we go. The Bengals drive about to get going. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick? The first down and change our momentum.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. This defense for the Dolphins, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you feel like you can. And when you look at this team, you definitely think that it is, because anytime you can tell your offense, just get us a couple of touchdowns, we got this thing locked down, that's when you know you're playing well.
Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws.
Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run.
Wrap up.
Still moving. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there for Cincinnati. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other, and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
They'll give it to Mixon. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
I thought they did a really nice job stringing it out and not allowing him to turn upfield, knocked him out for no gain. I think if you're going to go outside in this situation, keep in the hands of your quarterback. Give him some options. Run it, pass it, pitch it. Just something to have a chance to get into the end zone.
And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
Feeling the pressure. pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Jalen Phillips, he's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down.
That's quite a stand there defensively. A huge sack on 3rd down, and that's going to force him into a field goal attempt.
Now the Bengals will settle for 3 as the field goal unit comes on here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And this one is right through. They will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Miami set to take over. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work.
A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. It's a big play there for Miami. Typically with catches like that, we talk about the height of the wide receiver, but he's one of the shorter receivers in the NFL.
And it doesn't seem to matter, does it? Put the tape measure away. How about some of these? Guys under 6 feet tall. Antonio Brown, T.Y. Hilton, and Super Bowl 53 MVP, Julian Edelman.
Well, that didn't take long. 1 play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. Looking to throw. Richardson. And he'll find Ruggs on the right side. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. Nice gain of... that time, but it's 2nd and goal. After one, a 14-3 ball game. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. They'll try to run this one in, and he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great effort there. Ties LT with his 31st touchdown of the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead is up to 18 now. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Here again comes Joe Burrow and the offense for the Bengals. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because...
in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Burrow. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. It's a... pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. The Bengals on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. And that is incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Take it at the 37. 39 yards on the punt. Give him just 1 yard on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's played a pretty clean first half. A touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Henry Ruggs, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Dolphins are able to add on to their first half lead. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Point after here coming up. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. 1 play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Cincinnati set to take over once again. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. Now this will go for 5 up to the 33.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
3rd and 2, now Burrow. He finds his man, complete. That's Leonard. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains on it.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. Looking to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Leonard. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line, well short of the first. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Yeah, that's just a solid, good physical run there as he motors for 9 yards.
And that run there does nothing but juice up the guys who are moving the football. I mean, if you're an offensive lineman, people running it, actually the guy calling plays, you're almost jumping up and down in jubilation, aren't you?
Yeah, now you've got options on 2nd down.
And big-time options. You might want to think about play action and try and get something cheap right here over the top. 2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Richardson. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. A leap, and he's got it. He got it. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. It's a big play there for Miami.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. And to give this time to the tailback. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
2nd and 7. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. His 6th touchdown on the ground, number 7 overall. And the Dolphins go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this 1st half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Here comes Gilbert. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Burrow. This pass complete to Higgins. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. This is Mixon on the draw. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good.
And this is taken in at the 5. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. It's a big play there for Miami. When he launched that football, I'm guessing he was thinking end zone, but he'll take it. Now they're knocking on the door.
I like the way you can read his thoughts. Think of it from the opposite side of the ball. They thought they had a chance to make a play and knock it away. Didn't get it done. Can they reset now and hold them to a field goal?
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. It's the fullback with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On 2nd and 10, Burrow, he finds his man, complete. That's Leonard. Now they got to get to the line quickly. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead them to 4th down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Bradley Pinion now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop, a man down on the return. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Richardson on 1st down. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. And this is caught inside the 5. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Henry Ruggs on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. They certainly... made quick work of that, ultra quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here comes Gilbert. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Joe Mixon and the Bengal offense ready to go back to work. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And it's a second down. To the air again, Burrow. And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards. A 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd.
Here we go, here we go. Ready?
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things definitely getting interesting around the NFL as we begin the month of December. So let's get right to it. We'll start with an AFC East matchup. The New York Jets taking on New England in Foxborough. And it is the Jets who have the lead in that one. Zach Wilson has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we're off to Tennessee to check on the Titans at home in Nashville. And they trail the visiting Denver Broncos in that one. Jerry Jeudy, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Lastly, let's check in on our nation's capital to see what's happening with the Washington football team at home at FedEx Field. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Dallas Cowboys. Antonio Gibson leading the way on the ground there. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half for the answer?
The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started from the 6. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided.
Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. It's a big play there for Miami.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now a give right side. Singleton. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who could make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And he'll find Chase on the right side complete. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. Burrow will throw. He finds his running back, Mixon. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Leonard. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 36.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Mixon with a first down carry. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 58 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that. On 15 carries. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And now they will throw it with Burrow. And fights him off. And a big loss here as he's taken down. A very costly sack there on 3rd and goal. Pushes them back big time. And now you'd figure the field goal team coming on 4th.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Leonard. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And his kick is indeed good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Miami's offense set and ready to go. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They run the counter. It's Mullins. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. The CD, this offense at 11-0 now on the year. A few weeks ago, I remember asking you what kind of percentage chance that you thought they had at staying unbeaten the entire season. I think you said 25%. I'd imagine that number probably grown since then.
I would agree with you, and I'm going to actually bump it up to closer to 50%, only because they still have some tough games to come, and keeping that focus throughout the entire season, that's been a really difficult thing to pull off. But so far, they've done it, and they've done it well.
And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And while it didn't work very well on that play, defenders on 3rd and short know it's going to be a quick read. And really, the quarterback's just going to turn around and hand it off. So that way, you're able to diagnose the play and try and get to the point of attack. But when you're dealing with a fullback, it's hard to knock him backwards.
They'll run on 1st down. Singleton. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. They run the counter. Mullins, and they'll get him down here at about the 42. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Three yards remain for 2nd down. And to give this time to the tailback. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Three-quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Singleton shreds him with a stiff arm. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 68 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. Dillard. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. Standing alone with a new NFL record 32nd touchdown. And the Dolphins add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. That holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. But that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
And the holding penalty sets him back inside the 20 as they get going on this drive.
Mike, 55. Check, 55.
Now Burrow on 1st down. Throw left side complete. That's Leonard. That catch good for only a couple. 2nd down and 8. Now Burrow. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
On 3rd down, Burrow. He finds his man, complete. It's Leonard. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Bradley Pinion now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Returnable here from the 38. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I
We
enjoy.
share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
On first down, Singleton. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
They run the counter. It's Mullins, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
Let's go now. Cowboys. Strong right. Strong right. Strong right. Hey. 4 down. 4 down. 4 down. Check up.
They'll run on first down. Singleton, and he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Let's go. Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 18 Cardinal. 18 Cardinal. Check 52.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Set. 19 Tiger. 19 Tiger. Mike 51. Mike 51.
On 3rd down, Singleton, powerful running, and he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 97 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
51 to Mike. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school. Check 26. Check 26. Back.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Dolphins are going to be moving on to 12-0 as they extend their lead further. They seemingly just continue to score at will. And as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win. But one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them. Because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ball game.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Here comes Gilbert. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
To throw again on 2nd down. Burrow. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They will throw on 1st down with Burrow. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Again, it's Burrow. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Miami set to take over. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. And that's caught inside the 30. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 100. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Extra point attempt to come here. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now trotting back out with the rest of his offensive mates, the big tight end. And partner, the defense, they were keyed in on him early, but his talent shining through as of late.
I like what you said about keyed in because it all started in their first meeting of game planning for this game, where they went over things with their team and said, all right, this is the guy we have to take out of the game. Make sure you get enough coverage on him, all the different defenses. Sometimes you run everything you've got in the first half, and they adjust in the second half and start to play better.
He gets this in the hands of Mixon, and he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column, but as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
And this one incomplete. And all that remains is 13 seconds. Again, he'll drop to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Leonard. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Big offensive explosion help leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Dolphins, the streak continues as they push their mark to a perfect 12-0 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, this loss cost them in the playoff chase as they fall back to 7-5 on the year. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.